Hello and welcome. This tutorial will demonstrate how to create your first video, or Move, in Moovly. As you may know, Moovly is a web-based tool used to create multimedia content. I'll start from the dashboard, or where you land after the initial login. To get started, simply click the Create Move button. Give your project a name and a brief description. And then click Next. Once it's created, your browser may block a pop-up. This pop-up contains the editing and creation tools. So you can display it by allowing your browser to show it, or by turning off your pop-up blocker. I'll click Show this long URL. This is where you will edit your moves. The left pane is your library. It contains any images you've uploaded from your computer, and Moovly's own library of callouts and clip art. I can browse through them by clicking the drop-down. I'll select Infographics. Here are a number of graphics I could use to accentuate something in my presentation. But right now I'm in a hurry to create my lecture and would like to upload an image for my title screen. In this case, a School of Medicine logo. So I click Upload Media, locate the image, click Open, and the image is automatically populated in my library. So I'll choose the right image and click and drag it to the stage, or the center pane. So let me make this a little bit bigger. And I would like some help positioning it, so I'll turn on the grid by clicking this drop down in the upper right. And I will check the Show Grid option. This grid can help me center the image. Now let me add a title and my name, so I'll click the text box option here. Click anywhere to add it. Neurology 101, Instructor Bob Smith. And again, I'll use my grid to help center that. Now let me turn your attention to the timeline. This shows the start and stop time of every item you place in your move. By default, my logo and text box appear for 5 seconds. Just to be safe, I will extend each to 8 seconds. I just hover the pointer over the end of the block until it becomes this left-right line logo, and click and drag it to my desired time, 8 seconds. And the same thing with the logo image. Notice the file name. I'm going to make sure that it is also set to display for 8 seconds. Now that we have our title screen ready, I'd like to add my PowerPoint slides. Moovly does not allow me to import a PowerPoint file, so I will need to save my slides as images. Let's open that PowerPoint. And let's assume that I've finished this presentation. So I will click File, Save As, choose my desktop, give it a title, and under Save as Type, I'll select JPEG and click Save. So I'll get this message about whether or not I'd like to save all my slides as JPEGs or just the current highlighted one. I will choose All Slides, and I'll be notified that each slide has been saved as a separate image. Click OK. And we can right away close PowerPoint and go back to the Moovly. So before I add those images, I'd like to clean up my timeline a little bit and collapse clip number 1, so that way I don't see everything there. And I'll add a new clip by clicking this button, clip 2. So I'll then upload media, it's the same way I just did, And I will locate my slides. So Microsoft PowerPoint actually creates a folder on the desktop and puts each slide in as a separate JPEG. I'll start with slide number 1. Wait for it to be added to my library. There it is. So now I want this first slide to be part of clip 2. So I'm going to drag clip 2 to the 8-second mark, which is where clip 1 ends. And then I'm simply going to click and drag my slide to the stage. So now we'll go ahead and put that where we want it. Now clip 2 will contain slide number 1. And notice you can drag this bar here on the timeline, at the top of the timeline, to go a little farther to the right. Now that I've added my first slide, I'd like to narrate it, record some audio. Moovly has its own system for recording audio. You find it right underneath the library here. So I'll click the record audio button and we'll see this pop up. So as soon as you click the red circle, Moovly will begin to record your voice. So you have to be prepared because there's no countdown or anything like that. I'll click here. Welcome, class. I hope you enjoy our class this semester, and I hope you enjoy me as your instructor. And this will mark our first lecture about neurology. And you click when done, and then you'll have the opportunity to preview. I'll click here. Welcome, class. I hope you enjoy our class this semester, and I hope you enjoy me as your instructor. I'll just go ahead and assume that it is acceptable, and I will give it a title. Neuro 01, and click Save. Now it can be a little tricky to find these files. You stay in your library, personal library, scroll past images to sounds. Sometimes they're alphabetical, but sometimes they get a bit jumbled up. So Neuro 01, there it is. All right, so once you've found it, you click and drag over to the stage. And now notice the timeline. You see our file. It's a little bit longer than what the slide was. It goes all the way to about 21 and a half seconds. So first thing is I've had my timeline marker right here a little bit into clip 2. So that's why it's added it right there. So let me click and drag and move it back to the beginning. And now let me extend the slide 1 image to match that. So just about almost to 21 seconds there. Now once you've got it ready, you can preview. Welcome, class. I hope you enjoy our class this semester, and I hope you enjoy me as your instructor. In other tutorials, I'll show you how to actually record your audio using a free program that you can download from anywhere. And it'll give you some options with editing your sound. But for fast and easy audio recording, this is a pretty good option. So now what I'd like to finish with is adding my second slide and then adding a few callouts. So let's compress clip number 2, add clip 3, and upload the image for slide 2. Click and drag it to the stage. Scroll over here. Make sure clip 3 comes at the end of clip 2 so the two don't overlap. And I'll move my timeline selector here and center my image. So what I'd like to do is add some very basic callouts to just accentuate something that I'm lecturing about. So I'll go up to the library drop-down, click it, and I'll go with doodle marker. And this gives me some very basic arrows and lines that I can play around with. And of course I'll have to resize that so it's a little less overwhelming. And you can rotate them to suit your needs. And then decide when you want it to appear on your timeline. So notice I can just click and drag that arrow line on the timeline. So I'm going to make this a very short, let's say about 2 seconds. Now let's record with some very quick audio. Learning to apply knowledge is the most important point of this lecture. Okay, now let's add our audio file. So I've found my lecture slide 2. Click and drag that to the stage. So I want this audio file to coincide with the arrow. So let's make sure those two are the same length, and we'll extend the slide itself and preview. Learning to apply knowledge is the most important point of this lecture. And there you have it. So that's an example of adding a call out to dress up your presentation and accentuate something. Once you've finished editing your project, simply go to the upper right-hand corner of the editor and click Save and Exit. This will close the pop-up, and I'd recommend refreshing your page to get a preview of your project. So from there, you can simply publish to your gallery. You'll get this warning that your gallery is public. Just click OK, I agree, and it will be published. From there, you'll be given a URL to present to your students in LCMS Plus. Just copy that and add it to your course.